Welcome back. This is still the conversation. Chad was in the midst of counting votes on Sunday following the closing of polls for a referendum on the new constitution. The new constitution has been proposed by the country's military rulers but faced opposition from several political figures. The likelihood of the new constitution being approved seemed high, which could potentially lead to upcoming elections and the reinstatement of civilian governance. However, many within Chad, including a significant portion of opposition groups and civil society, chose to boycott Sunday's vote. Ibrahim Zain Kanji, that is a Chadian and also socio-political activist, joining from Zaria. And we also have Michael Lanre Toluhi, African Affairs Analyst. Thank you so much for your time, gentlemen.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Michael actually joins from the United Kingdom. I'd like to start off with you, Ibrahim. How important is this constitutional referendum for Chad?
Well, for Chad and Chadians, actually, this exercise is meaningless. It doesn't make any sense, in fact. So such things have gone before. 30 years back, 1992, the ex-dictator Idris Deby, who came on board through the rebellion and seized the power by foreign aids. So who was on his master and Habre. So Idris Deby had made such kind of exercises, but actually he violated the constitution from all angles. He started re-electing himself from 1996 up to 2021 to his death. But myself, actually, I participated in the first election, 1996. I voted, and the second one as well, 2001. Afterwards, I stopped actually taking part because it was just a joke. One horse racing, they just there was no election, there was no democracy, there was no law, no constitutions, just by saying sake, nothing more. So as you see in the election, the vote exercises, boycott is massive. In fact, the participation,
I'm sorry, Ibrahim, I just need to cut in here. We are having a bit of interruption when it comes to your conversation. Maybe if you can, continue your analysis without your earpiece. It seems to interfere with the flow.
All right, let me try.
All right, while you're at it, let's of course listen to Michael. Michael, what's your take on the importance of this constitutional referendum for Chad?
Good evening, everyone. It's an important thing, but it just boils down to tell us how the African nation is not seeing democracy as something, is not seeing the value of democracy, because we know since 1960 that Chad had independence, the country has only enjoyed little stability, and we know that the former president, in person of President Idris Deby, when he died and when he was killed in April 2001, his son, who is the general in the person of the person there now, Mahmoud Idris Deby, was sworn in and to stand in gap, which was meant for the military, what they call it, transition, and it was meant to be an 18-month thing, after which he decided to do what another African Dabra by extending for another 18 months. And now he called for a referendum and saying he wanted to see a constitution and our constitution is there to be our constitution needed to be how would I call it? He wanted the constitution review rather. And when they started it, we could see that we have some people saying yes for it and thinking it would be establishment of autonomous community with local government, with local assemblies and council, for tradition chiefdom, among other changes. While some are saying no, in person of this no people that is being championed by Ngedumaye Mbadim. No, sorry, I hope I'm calling the names right. It's feeling that for the past 50 years, Chad had been going through a lot of issues without tangible changes, and the lack of him felt it is a dynasty. They are trying to form a new dynasty where it will now turn to once someone leaves, turn to a family property. And the person, someone like the Prime Minister in the person of Albert Behimi Bakadeki, is saying there shouldn't even be any referendum. It is not a no, there should be no referendum now or never, because it feels money will probably change. And if there is a pattern, there is a delay, which is just doing, which this delay is a delay tactics, but it is Derby
Okay.
who felt since.
Okay, Michael, sorry to interrupt you. Of course, we'll get back to some of the items you've raised, but I would also like to go back to Ibrahim to actually know his take. Now, opposition voices actually did argue that the referendum aims to pave the way for the current transitional president, that's General Mahatma Idris Deby Itno, to continue the legacy of a political dynasty initiated by his late father 33 years ago following a coup. Could there be any form of validity to this claim?
Fact on ground we have. In fact, even the way after the death of the ex-dictator Idris Deby, the way this Muhammad Idris Deby was slotted in was clear crystal that the preparation of illegal and constitutional dynasty for this or this younger dictator to be continued for another 3 weeks or 4 or 5. That's the preparation. That's what they are doing. And the worst part of it, the fact charges are not against either the ex-dictator Deby or the current dictator younger Muhammad Idris Deby. The problem of their rule, their cruelty, the way their monstrous injustice, the inequality, the nepotism, the human rights abuse, the first-class corruption. Those things what charities are against it. And in fact, even the two oppositions, the moment who are saying the truth about it and asking for the betterment of the leadership, betterment of the citizens, either they have been gunned down or have been arbitrarily arrested. So now some of those who are calling themselves oppositions, actually they are fake oppositions, have been prepared and paid by the nepotism or the big family, the big dynasty, to legitimize their illegal process. So definitely not about it. Even though it comes for African Union, the chairman, Musa Faki Mohammed, who's the Chadian, who worked with the ex-dictator for several years as a foreign minister, as a prime minister, he's opposing to say the process, what is going on is against the African Union Charter. But they are undermining any constitution, international or regional or even national, just for this young dictator, so as you rightly mentioned, their dynasty to continue.
Okay.
The major problem is not a country. They made it hell. There is absolute justice there. No equality, no rights. So the social society, the caste system, the first class.
Okay, Ibrahim, sorry to cut in, but of course we will continue this particular conversation. And when we return, of course, we would also consider what the voters' turnout look like and also their perception to what is going on. But right now we need to go on a quick break. When we return, the conversation continues. Stay with us. This is still the conversation, and we are looking at matters arising in Chad, where recently a constitutional referendum was held. And we have with us on the program Ibrahim Zain Kanji, a Chadian and also a social Toluhi, African affairs analyst. Once again, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Okay, I would like to, of course, move to Michael right now. Now, we, of course, observed, or it was observed, that voters' turnout appeared a bit limited in some parts of the capital, with some citizens expressing, skepticism about the impact of their votes due to the expected outcome. Why do you think this is?
Yeah, it is because, like it was not genuine, because everyone knows that the referendum or the vote was never a genuine call. And, we all know that it is another tyranny in the making. And it's another tyranny rule and the tyrannical act, the tyrannical rule over there. If you remember that on the anniversary of the 18th month transition, when they did the anniversary in October 2022, We know that between 100 to 300 young men and teenagers were shot dead in the Jema and by the police and the military. And according to opposition and national NGOs calling for it, nothing was done. And these people have been protesting, peacefully demonstrating that against the 2 years extension of this transitional government. So when you see that more than 1,000 people, or other 1,000 people have been in prison and before and they were pardoned, but the pardon, you know how the pardon had been. So you see, it's not something anyone will want to go out and say a no to, because it's like going to somewhere and they're telling you go vote for yes or no, but there is a gun hidden somewhere, there is a sniper somewhere aiming at you, telling you when you go no, you'll be shot down. So it's just a way of dazzling the cake or the carrots or the banana in the front of the monkey, and the monkey is in a cage and the monkey can't really do anything, because that is what is happening. You've seen these people do all these kind of things, and you've seen leaders come to Africa, or African leaders rather, come to just make some funny kind of promises and trying to do things, and someone wants to be a president, wants to be a military man, and wants to transition to be a democratically elected president, and once even that is done, they begin to change the laws, they begin to change the constitution of the land to give themselves to stay over and over. You see, it's only in Africa you see a leader that's been there for 50 years, 60 years, because they want to stay. His father started this journey 3 years ago, and now he wants to continue it, and he feels it is his best right to do that. So people will not naturally turn out.
Clearly,
people always believe that turning out is.
Clearly, it looks like a situation of lack of maybe trust in the political system or the government. But I'd like to go back to you, Ibrahim. Now, you were trying to establish some points before we went on that break as regards some of the views of the opposition. I want you to put it vis-a-vis some of the views also of the voters who did not appear to, will I say, vote or even sort of support or respect the process. Not respect per se, but, participate more or less in the process. What's your take?
Actually, there had never been votes in Chad, right from the inception, 1960 to date. There is no Chadian president voted in or out. So just this is as my dear respected colleague, Mr. Michael, as he mentioned, this one just nominal process everybody knows about. There's a massive mistrust. And in fact, what is the most painful? Imagine now this is the referendum on the so-called constitution. In fact, there's no constitution in Chad. That's tyranny, absolute tyranny, worst ever tyranny we have. Yet the president, the prime minister, the ministers are campaigning for yes. Imagine. So there are people who can protest, they say no participation. Some are locked up, some are arrested, some they are seized, they are flags. So whatever it is, people know what the outcome is coming. Deby had given the same ordeal to Chadians. He came through military armed rebellion in 1990. He ruled Chadian for 32 years miserably with those fake elections. Prepared result elections, nothing had come out of it, and everybody knows this young dictator wants to continue for other 30 or 50 years of brutal system, segregation, tribalism, corruption, nepotism, injustice, massive, gruesome human rights abuses, the willful destruction of the nation, no infrastructure, no education, no health sector, no proper economy, no administration, no military. Imagine a country now in the region, Chad, many people are chanting Chad military. Imagine the chief of the Chadian army, an illiterate person, had never been to a class, in any class, even primary one, have never been to, and the chief of the army. Today we have.
Sorry, you said the chief of the army. Sorry, I need to get back to you on that. You said the army chief doesn't have any academic qualification. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, please, including the
Do,
young dictator Mohammed Idris Deby, all a bunch of
sorry,
yes,
do you have
we have.
evidence to prove this? Because I mean, those are
Yeah,
pretty weighty.
I am from Chad. I am an activist. I'm against this injustice. I'm against this misrule right from 1996 to date. A person we know him, Abu Bakr Abdul Karim Dawood. Abu Bakr Abdul Karim Dawood, an illiterate person. Imagine chief of the army, chief of the police, minister of the security, all are from the same family. Only they are oppressing Chadians.
But
So
you
they
but
be
that
silent.
is not to say that they don't have any form of academic qualification. But I mean,
No, we know each other.
mm,
We
but
know
that's
each
not
other.
enough.
Those
You know,
people, we know them
we
very
would have
well.
appreciated some sort of hardcore, evidence to prove this. But nonetheless,
No, only we can bring evidence when there's a certificate for them we can present. But the people who are illiterate have never gone to school. What are we going to present for them? People, we know them, they know us, we know each other quite very well. So actually, what is they're just family affairs. They have taken it like that. The nation is a hostage. Chadians are hostages. So absolute injustice, massive killing. Killing is every day in Chad. It's sponsored, even communal clashes is sponsored by those bunch of illiterates. So what I'm saying in Chad,
I'm sorry, I might just need to cut in here, but just because we're pressed for time, I'll still stay with you, Ibrahim. Now, how much of an impact will you say this process will have on the upcoming elections in 2024 as projected?
Everybody knows. In fact, when this young man was brought illegally, unconstitutionally, on top of the military junta against the will of the Chadians, I had that with the RFI, where they asked for this continuation of this dictatorship, nothing more. This young man, if Chadians have not stood together, definitely will come back under civilian or whatever name, or remains dictator, remains military general 5-star, whatever, or martial quality, whatever you like it, and will continue for the next 30 to 40 to 50 years, unless Chadian will stand up together and the region, and the regional powers and the international community, EU, United Nations actually have not been fair to Chadians. They should stand in the side of the Chadians. What is happening in Chadian had never happened such in the history. We have more worst tyranny in the human history, killing innocent lives in hundreds on daily basis, sometimes on ethnic cleaning.
All right, Ibrahim. Sorry, I might just need to cut in because we would also like to hear Michael's take on this briefly.
Thank you. Well, it's funny because I don't see anything going to happen in the election, because there's not going to be an election. It's going to be a selection if anything is going to happen. And it boils down to the fact that the African Union is not taking its place where they need to take its place, where their place and stand firm. Because we remember that this 37-year-old man, young guy, told them that he was going to conduct an election in 18 months, being in office. It's past 18 months, and he's giving himself an extension of another 18 months. And we know what he's doing now. He's just playing to the gallery. He's dancing all those normal music he needs to play and dance to them. Now the people in charge are under a tyrannical rule.